Hey Adeline, how's it going? Awesome, awesome. Oh, just in case I haven't said it yet, welcome to our office. Good afternoon, Alex. How's it going? Haven't seen you in a while, man.
Good, good. How's it going, man?
Not bad. So I know there were a few people that said they wouldn't be able to make it today. So depending on the group that we have, I'm probably going to make this more of like an ask me anything as opposed to an like a full out like just formal class. So that way we can address things that you guys want addressed and go over anything you need to. How's that sound?
Good.
Okay. Just give it a couple more minutes here. Might just be us three.
Hello, sorry, my mic wasn't working at the moment,
No
but
worries.
thank you for
We'll just give it a couple more minutes here. Now, Edeline, I know you're new, but have either of you had a chance to dive into campaigns to play around with it, or if you have any specific questions, could you put that in either the chat box or that way I can make sure I address it.
Uh, personally, I've dove into, I played around with it and stuff like that. I was just kind of like, yeah, I just leave it at that. Lost my train of thought here.
No worries.
yeah, I play around with it sometimes, but I haven't really gotten into it as much. So
Okay. Have you tried running a Facebook ad?
no, I actually haven't, but I do know how that works. I did look at I think it's called like the MLM marketing videos, so I know how it works.
Okay.
I haven't tried running one yet.
Okay, sure. No problem. Then, I mean, this could be a really simple class where we can just walk through things, or if there's anything you want to address, I can just share my screen here. All right, let's just get started. Sorry, there's construction outside my house. I don't know if you can hear the nail gun.
I don't hear it at all, actually.
Okay, that's good. Okay. Alrighty, so this is what your campaign's dashboard is going to look like. So the area that I'm predominantly in is this paid ads section up here. So when you run campaigns ads, I'm in a different account right now, so you don't really see the performance. So it'll be able to analyze the ads that you run and tell you which campaigns like either got you the most leads, the lowest cost per lead, or actually got the most clicks or engagement on that ad. So it's really useful to help analyze how you should target your ads too. Have either of you guys set up? I put up a video in the Facebook group before. It was for the Facebook Pixel ID.
Yeah, I got that one.
Okay. So you have that put into your command.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So that makes things a little bit easier. That Facebook Business Analyzer is actually more in depth than this will give you. This is more of like the numbers part of it. The Facebook Business Manager will tell you which interests are generating the most leads that come into your ad, or which demographic, which area, which city. So that it's that part of it. So you can use both to help target your ads better.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but what was that Facebook thing you were referring to just right now?
It's called a Facebook Pixel ID. So it's something that you can grab from the Facebook Business Manager page, from your Facebook business page. I believe if you type in business.facebook.com, you'll be able to get to that page and just create one for your business page.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's a video on the Facebook, the KW Gateway group, the closed one, if you want to take a look at it. Okay. So just as a rough overview, we did talk about the leads, the campaigns that you can have. Paid ads is where you'll go into. If you want to look at all the ads you have running, appears payments, where you put in your credit card information just so it has it saved. And then we're just going to go into create a new campaign for today. So we'll click on social ad. And this can be anything. So this can be like test. This is a listing that I was looking at before. Cohasset. And various goals you can do. So you can obviously do one to promote a listing, promote an open house, a virtual open house that is coming up. Or, it can be something simple where you're just advertising something like Keller Mortgage to attract buyers. So you can click on this, either one of these, but for here, we're going to go to advertise listing. And as you can see, we can promote it on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. I predominantly stay towards Facebook because they tend to generate the most quality leads. Hello.
Yeah, I noticed Facebook is a little bit better.
Yeah. It's a different demographic, right? So
Yeah.
with Instagram, it's more of like brand awareness if you want to promote it that way. But for leads, Facebook. Okay. So when you click on the create the new campaign, it'll bring you to this page. You can look up that address by property address. Now, for some reason, by default, it moves it to only my listing. So if you don't have a listing up, it won't show up. And also if you search like the thing that I'm looking for, it won't come up. So you're going to go to all listings. You can go to this one right here. Okay. Your first time going through this, there's something called this purple bubble here. This is something that we've labbed, and it seems to really help new agents go through and walk through step by step. So if you want to go through it that way, after our class today, just to help you get that better understanding of it, that works as well. For now, I'm just going to skip this. Oh, this is not a good one. I don't see pictures here. 1 second. I'm just going to click on another one here. I think it was Whitehaven. Sorry, I'm trying to find one where I can actually populate these pictures from. Hi there, Lee. Give me 1 second. Let me just pull up something here.
Are you taking questions at the end, or can I ask
Go
a
for it.
question? Okay. So,
What is your question?
like as a new agent,
Mhm.
when would be the ideal time to create one of these ads, and like what type of content would you suggest the ad be?
Probably the easiest way, at least the way I started out, I started off doing Facebook listing advertisements for the agents in our office. So to help them promote their leads. So just reach out to, go onto the MLS. If you can see, I have this revised KW listing kind of like save search here. And it'll bring up all the active listings in our office. And you can search that by going into search, setting up the criteria for it. And I believe our office broker code is KWSV.2. So it'll bring up all the active listings. And yeah, just preferably try to stay within our office. Like our broker here, Mike Sibilia, has a listing here. So you can reach out to him and say, hey, do you mind if I run a Facebook ad for this, just to help you generate some more leads? And if the house is, like, for example, vacant, and he's okay with hosting an open house, like a virtual open house, you can advertise for that as well. So various different ways you can utilize that.
Got it. Great idea. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. I am sorry. I'm trying to find a random listing. I'll just pick one here. Okay. So I'm just going to pick this one, just as an example. Okay, so when you have your listing, it's connected to the KWLS and the MLS listing info. So it'll bring in all of that relevant information. So you have that initial copy that you have here. Let me just see if I can, no, I can't look this up here, sorry. Okay, so you have that original copy, you have the picture, and this is where you'll start editing your campaign. So the first thing that comes up is your ad text, which is this part right here. Your headline, this should be kind of like your attention grabber, right? So what is the house is probably the biggest way to advertise it. So with my listings, I'll usually say something along the lines of like beautiful 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath in Central San Jose, South San Jose, Morgan Hill, wherever you're advertising. And in the description, what's your goal? Are you advertising it as an open house? Are you advertising it just to generate leads? To say like, hey, sign up to schedule your showing today. So you would put something to that extent in the description box right here. So for us, we're just going to say, what is this, a 4-bedroom? 3-bath investment opportunity. Say something like that. Click here to schedule a private showing. Okay, so just as an example, really rough. The next thing you'll do is you can go into the ad media, and if you hit add more, it'll bring up all the images on the MLS that were posted on the MLS. So you can pick and choose whichever one you want to use. You can, I think ideally you would probably use something like 5, like 1 or 2 of the front and back of the house, and then the 3 main parts of the home that you think are its biggest selling points. So for a lot of them, it's like the kitchen, the bathroom. If it has a beautiful living room that's staged really well, you can use that. Excuse me. On another note, you can probably, if you had the time, you could actually go over there and add like a quick video. And you can do that right here as well. Okay. Now, if you have your marketing profile set up, your DBA logo will already be here. If you don't have this DBA logo, message Lauren and she'll get it to you. It's like a 360 by 360 PNG that you have to have on your marketing. So let's just pick a couple of images here. Pick this one. Unfortunately, you can only do it one by one. I'm just going to do this and add in something like this. All right, and hit save image. So this right side is kind of like your preview of how someone would see it if they were on a desktop.
Okay.
And you can also change it to see what it would look like on a mobile phone.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah.
Okay. That's clever.
Okay, so we added our pictures. We'll hit save media. And now we're going to go to the actual Facebook ad part of it. So whatever account you're linked to, wherever your business page is linked to, you're going to click on that. and the page that you're advertising is going to be your business page. The next part is destination. So I typically like to stay towards using the Facebook lead generation form because it kind of eliminates that barrier for the people signing up for your ad, right? So if you had like a separate landing page where people had to input things, it would mean that people are less likely to put in their information, or they would, lie about it, or they would put in incorrect information on accident, a typo, anything could mess it up, right? So we generally stick towards doing the Facebook lead generation form, and that way it pre-fills all the necessary information as much as possible, at least, and then they'll be able to put in anything else that they need to. For the button to call to action, I usually just hit sign up, depending on what you're obviously advertising it for. So for like open houses or private showings, you would do this. Are any of you guys interested in seeing how the landing page is created?
I would like to.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit more complicated, but I'll show you after this one. Okay. So after once they click sign up, it'll bring them to the Facebook lead generation form. They'll put in their information and they'll hit enter, and it'll bring them to something called a follow-up destination URL. Now, what I'll do for this is I'll usually take my KW agent website, search that address on my website, and then copy that address and put it into here. So that way they're generating traffic into your agent site, and it's branded to you. So if, they'll look through the property information, they'll scroll down, they'll see your name and number, and that way they'll be able to ask you questions as fast as possible or as efficiently as possible. So for me, let's just do kpham.kw.com. Like I said, I'll usually just bring it directly to that listing on my website. Do all of you have your website set up?
I have
Okay. Okay, Alex, yes. Adeline, is it Adeline? I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Okay. What about K? I'm not quite sure who K is over here. Okay. We'll just move on from here then. Yeah, so we'll put in that listing address there, and that'll be the website parts of it. The next part is probably the most important. It's your ad targeting. So before I had you guys, I was asking about the Facebook Pixel ID. This is where it becomes very, very important and gives you valuable information that you can better use to target your ads and generate the most leads, the most quality leads per click at the lowest price you can. So this listing I pulled up is in Hot Springs, Arkansas. I generally, yeah, I'm not quite sure why the MLS isn't syncing the images over, but normally I would use obviously around our area or our offices. The radius, this is going to depend. So you can run this a few different ways. If the most generic way is to just stay in your area, right? So you have people in San Jose, you want people to move to San Jose, or people around the Bay Area moving to San Jose. So I'll probably stay within like a 25 to 30 mile radius. So that way it'll bring you up all the way up to the East Bay, down to like Gilroy. So you can encompass all of those. When you do this on a more high level, you can go to, there's like a referrals pattern page in KW Command, which is right here. And you can actually see the referral patterns that people are tracking all over the US to San Jose. So you can see those hubs. And when you get those hubs, you can run a separate ad for each one of those areas saying, hey, interested in moving to San Jose sometime soon, or if say like your work is moving you over here, or come here to experience our beautiful weather, so on and so forth. So that's the next step you can probably take for it. Okay, so we're going to click on add interests. This is something you don't have to do. That's why I say it's optional, but adding these interests help bring those kind of shared interests for the people on Facebook over to your ad. So small, like the ones I would definitely pick: Zillow, anything home buying related, mortgages. So that way you have people with those interests in mind when you target these ads. I know that's. I'm sorry. Did you say something, Alex?
Kevin, I got a quick question.
Oh,
You said
yeah.
you don't need to fill this out. If you don't fill it out, what happens for the targeting?
You don't have to fill it out. They Facebook and Keller Williams have actually partnered together, and they've created like a particular algorithm that they've used. I haven't used it personally without the targeting, without the shared interest here, so
Okay.
I couldn't tell you.
All right.
But I do know it plays a part in how they bring you leads.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you go to add interests. So here, let me just add in a couple things. So like, yeah, I'll throw in Zillow because people that are looking at Zillow generally are looking at homes. Realtor.com. And we'll say something like, oh, sorry, lagging a little bit. Like, let's just say mortgage for now. Mortgage loan, mortgage calculator. That's a good one. Okay, and we'll do that. So that's your ad targeting part of it. Then you just hit save. The next one is your lead settings. This, can one of you do me a favor and go into your Facebook, not your Facebook, your KW command, go into the, like, create a campaign and see if this comes up yet? This lead settings part. So yeah, the reason I ask is because I'm a labs advisor. So they basically give me access to like beta testing for different features in command. And I'm not quite sure if this is something that's released to the general audience yet. I don't want to go into in depth if it's not.
On mine, it doesn't even have lead settings.
Okay, so it is still hidden behind a flag, so I won't go into that yet. But this will be coming out in the future, since you this is going to be part of our closed Facebook group, so I guess it's okay for me to talk about this. But definitely don't say it anywhere else. You will eventually have the capability to auto tag people from any Facebook ad that you run. So you can tag it as like a buyer. You can tag it as the specific address for the Facebook ad that you're bringing in. You can tag it as an open house lead, Facebook open house lead. And then from there, you can actually add it to a specific smart plan. So like for me, I have this something called 10 days of pain that I run for all of my Facebook leads. And it's 10 days of like 2 touches a day, a call every other day, and targeting them and touching them through different ways as well. So it's something to look forward to. That's really exciting for me. Okay, the last part is going to be durations and budget. They have this here where they recommend 10-day campaign for like $1 a day. I've personally found that you should spend at least $5 a day. And obviously it's going to depend on what you're running it for. So if you're running it for something like an open house where you need leads to come in really quickly, you would inflate that a little bit. Like for yours, Lee, I did $7.50 a day for 4 days. So that was a $30 ad. If you're running it for something like Keller Mortgage, where there's no really big time crunch for it, you don't have to have a lead right now. You can lower to like $4 a day, $3 a day, and extend it over 10 days. So that way you have the most, you generate the most even traffic possible.
And Kevin, very quickly, if you
Yeah.
increase from $1 a day to $3 a day, what is that buying you from the standpoint of the search field that's done in?
It is buying you. So the way Facebook ads work is they work on impressions, right? So you have the cost per click, cost per leads, and whatnot, but you also have the beginning part before that. That is, it's something similar to like cost per view, and whatever the amount of people that they push it out to per day is generally based on how much you allocate it per day.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, because if you only put $1 a day and say you're having like a really rough ad, and the Facebook will charge you, like they'll just charge you that whole amount, and they'll allocate $1 a day for advertising throughout that day. And if you hit it really early, you're going to miss out on all of those ads that could be coming in. The other thing about this is that if you, excuse me, sorry about that. The other thing about this is that if you do, you're worried about putting too much per day, if you don't get up to the traffic that they anticipate for that dollar amount, they actually refund you. So that's another great thing about it.
But that's all done internally, right?
Internally through command?
No, I mean internally through Facebook. I mean, they're not going to tell you that, listen, you paid for an ad campaign, you didn't get quite the results you expected.
Oh yeah, that's correct.
Internally. Okay, fine. All right.
Yeah, and mind you, it's not going to be that you're going to get like a certain amount of leads from it. They're getting you a certain amount of clicks.
Okay.
Okay, so after you're done with that, you're going to hit save duration and budget, and you'd be able to publish the campaign right up here at the top right. And if you ever have any questions on your own, you can click on that purple bubble that I was showing you before. You can hit back and it'll walk you through each parts of it.
Okay, great.
Yep. Any questions on this part? Okay. The next thing we're going to walk through is creating a landing page for this. So I'm going to go over to consumer, which is the bottom left. So I have a few different sites created, but don't mind that. You're going to go over here to landing pages. Actually, the first thing you're going to want to do is, if you haven't already, you're going to go into your, actually, let me go back. This site and app settings. Make sure all of this is filled out. So you go from your generic website page. There's a chance that Scott Lorry Marketing has already done this for all of you. So if they have, don't worry about it. Yeah, so just making sure that your URL is created. You have your app URL, any featured listings you want to advertise on your page, what theme you want, and yeah. They say theme, but it's really not many options. However, Scott Lorry Marketing does have a few different things that they can help you with as well, as far as putting in different widgets, like a mortgage calculator, testimonials on your page. So definitely check them out when you guys have a chance. Okay. So let me see if I can find something here. Let me see if I can view this. So this is one that I created for, oh, is it not loading? Oh, it's probably because the listing is not up anymore. Okay, here we go. So this is something that I created for Donna's listing, I believe last year. So you can put up your banner, which has your information. This is Donna's listing, so I definitely wanted to credit her to make sure that people knew it was her listing. And just as an overview of what it looks like, and then I'll go through the actual creation of it. So you have your property details, About the property is the copy that's in the MLS, and you can change it however you'd like to. And then you have a nice image carousel. Once again, these are all things that you pull from the MLS.
Cool.
Yep. And I generally like to put in a map just to show people where it is. And that way they can get a better idea. And then at the very end is your agent, your license number, and then the brokerage's information. Okay. And at the very bottom right here, there's a legal footer. This is like each Keller Williams office is independently owned and operated. Just making sure that this whole section is down there as well. But yeah, that's a general thing of what it could look like. Alrighty, let's go to create a new page. You can create a page on your agent site as well, or you could do a landing page. So the create a sub page on your agent site is where you would do your Keller mortgage section, your mortgage calculator and whatnot. So for here, we're gonna just go to landing page. Okay, so you'll come to this blank page and all of your widgets and editing info is going to be on the right side. So first off, let's say our goal is going to be to create a landing page for that listing that we looked at. So the first thing I would put in is the lead capture form, because this is something that you're not using. This is something that you're going to be using in lieu of the Facebook lead generation. Once again, you don't have to use it as a lead capture form. You can just use it as like a property info form, but I would throw that in there. And you can edit what these widgets say later. There's a little button. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. This says configure widgets. And it'll let you change the text in each of these headlines. Just hit undo on this. Oh, not cooperating with me, sorry. Zoom does not do well with this. And I think I froze. 1 second. Okay. All right, so branded header, that's the first thing that you saw that I created before. You would throw in the lead form. And then next, I would throw in that listing that you're talking about. So I keep this up here just so it's top of mind and it's the first thing that people see. So people don't, just scrolling through the property information and then they forget about putting in their information. But yeah, so you go into here, you're able to edit this after the configure widgets part. And it'll pull up all this information from the MLS. So very, very easy. And at the very bottom, you would throw in that legal footer that I was talking about. And if you want to kind of like double down on the agent brand recognition, you can throw in this. It's called your local expert. And it'll pop in something with that, whatever you filled out in your KW white pages for your bio. And it'll also do like an app promotion as well. So this is your KW app for the consumer side. And if they click on this, it'll be branded to you. Any questions on this so far? It's really simple. You just kind of have to play around with it. Yeah, there's the way WordPress works is it works off of HTML as well. So there's something called, if you undo this, content blocks, you can put it a text box and you can play around with HTML for those people who are savvy with it. So you can like change up the design, change up photos, change up layouts. That's something Scott Leroy Marketing can probably help you with. So if you have any questions, definitely ask them. But for now, we're just going to go with this. We have our header, we have our lead capture form, and then we have the legal footer. So branded header, you can change your information if you need to. This is my Google Voice number. I do have a personal cell phone number, but I generally use this for any business purposes. So if you see me texting you from a random different number, that's probably why. Okay, and then you would go up to the top right here just to move along the widgets that you have. So form header text. Interested? Let's talk. Just change it to something more direct, like sign up now to schedule. Oh Jesus! Schedule a private showing. Save and apply, and it'll come up that way. Next one is the listing. This is where you'll, the same thing as the way you created that campaign. You'll click browse listings and you'll pull up the one that you're looking for. Let me see if it'll come up now.
These are in Indiana, it looks like.
Yeah, no, it's just in it pulled up a random area.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
So let me see if I can get this to populate. No, still not working. This is obviously not 5774 Cohasset Way, but just for the purposes of this class, it pulls up the property information.
Yeah, that one's in Austin.
Yeah. Yeah, the square feet. Yeah, so you got your bedrooms, bathrooms, the year that it was built, the copy from the MLS, same thing that I showed you from the thing that I created before.
Okay.
And it'll pull up exactly where it was on the map as well. All right, next. So one thing I would avoid in here, it's kind of a bug that's that KW is working on. Avoid dragging things up and down after you've set it down, because otherwise it'll do that. I'm not quite sure why it works that way, but kind of like figure out your layout. And if you do need to change something, just hit refresh and rebuild it real quick. And as you can see, it was really simple for me to do that. Yeah. Okay. This local expert is right here. If you're part of a team, you can put that in. Like, I guess, do we have a team in the office right now? Like the Mike Mendenhall team, he would put like the Mike Mendenhall team right here. And then just hit save. If this isn't pre-populating, you're going to go to that section in command where you have your KW app link, and you would put that in there. So that way, when they click on here, it'll bring them over to your link. Okay, and then the last part is, sorry about that. The last part is this legal footer, and as long as you filled out your marketing profile, this should auto-populate, and then you would just hit save landing page. And that's it. You'll have that as a landing page, and it'll show up right here. Or, oh, no, wrong page, wrong side. Here it is. So date created March 24, 2021. And as soon as you're done with it, you'll have a publish button, which I'm not quite sure why it's not coming up right now. Oh, here it is. You'll just go into here and then hit publish. And then that will allow you to actually use it as a link to put it into your Facebook campaign. Okay. Any questions on that? Now, I know I went through it rather quickly, but just to give you guys a quick overview, and then we'll go over any specific ones right now.
I'm just going to have to do this a couple times.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
This is something great that you can just create a draft, go through the process, and then delete it. And then when you have something that you want to run it for, like I said, you can run it for pretty much any listing in our office. Just reach out to that listing agent, ask them, do you mind if we promote this? And yeah, go do your thing. Like I have this one right here. It's a seller CMA Facebook ad. So what could your home sell for? Enter your information and address below, and we'll send you a free home valuation. So they would put in like their address right here, first name, last name, email address, phone number, and it's very short and sweet. I have that your local expert thing, the legal footer, the branded header, then the lead capture form. So that's really straightforward. The other way you can do this, I believe Scott Leroy Marketing has a free home valuation tab on the website. I'm not quite sure. I do know they have a mortgage calculator one, so that would be really useful too. Okay. Any questions for me? I've pretty much covered everything that I wanted to, so this is kind of the ask me anything time. Otherwise, I'll let you guys go 20 minutes early.
I think you explained everything pretty well.
Awesome.
What I'm going to do personally, Kevin, is I'm just going to do this a few times.
Okay.
And then once I've made all the mistakes that I can think I can recover from, then I'll raise my hand and say, hey, I need some help with this.
There you go.
Where did I go wrong?
Yeah. No problem. Yeah, it's all going to be repetition, and for new agents especially, command is such a beast to dive into that you just take things one step at a time. Have either of you guys watched or heard of Marty Miller?
No.
Okay. On YouTube, he's a KW agent, and I believe he's a regional tech trainer as well. So I'm the MCTT for the office. He's a regional tech trainer for multiple market centers. And he has something called a 66-day command challenge. Let me see if I can pull it up here real quick.
Did you say Marty Miller?
Mhm.
Okay.
Marty Miller.
I got an email about that 66-day challenge. It must be his, right?
It is his. It is him speaking throughout the entire video.
Okay.
Yeah. And here, let me just copy this link right here. So it's a whole inside joke with this guy. He does pretty much everything he can in the number 66. He's also a labs advisor as well, but that's beside the point. So you can go through that. He basically picks an applet per day that he goes through, and a very short overview of what that looks like, and he'll go through it in his command as well, so you can see how that works. And he covers something new every day, so you can go at your own pace. You can go 10 days in one day if you want, but the whole point is that for you to be able to learn things step by step. Okay. Do all of you have my my Calendly link?
I don't think I've got it.
No.
Okay.
No.
Let me just type it in here. calendly.com/kpham. KW. It should have been in the welcome email that I sent you, but if you go into this link, you can schedule a 30-minute time block with me, and I can go over any questions that you have regarding whatever you're looking at. So
Thank you for that.
yeah. Okay. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay.
At least that's it for me, Kevin. Like I said, I understand what you just did, and I've done a couple of these KW paid ads already.
Sure.
Although I've been having, yesterday I had a run-in where my old credit card got compromised. So the bank,
Okay.
so I added a new card and I went to republish an existing ad. And what happened was it said that it couldn't go through. And then I got a flash message on top of the screen says, your ad's been published.
Yeah.
And so when I looked at my screen, I saw 5 fails because I tried this 5 times. And then I never saw the one that said it's either in review, or it's running. I've just got these 5 fail comments. And so I'm going to go I'll go readdress that later this week, later today. If I have any problems, I'll give you a buzz.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. We can just jump on a Zoom. You can screen share, show me what it looks like.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, great.
All righty, guys. Thanks so much for coming.
I just want to say thank you for your time.
Well, this has been because I'm going to go use this afternoon. I'm going to be at the office in about 30 minutes, and I'm going to go rock and roll over there.
Awesome. Well, you guys
continue my phone call.
Yeah, you guys have a great rest of your day. Okay.
You too. Thank you.
Thank
Hey,
you.
buddy. Thank you, man.
All right, very cool. All right.